Your head is taller than mine.
So bossy.
Okay.
Because I'm taller than you.
No, it's because you put volumizing product in
No,
your hair.
I didn't.
Can you see this? I think we're good.
Hold on, my wire. I don't like my wire.
Oh my God.
All right, come on, type A.
Get your hands off the table. You're shaking the table. You're supposed to say the category, and I say the suggestion.
This is
Old House Jeopardy with Casey Roman, broker Keller Williams, and Delinda Harrelson. Delinda is not only my friend, but she has done more than 100?
Yeah, way more.
Way more than 100. That's a specific number. Way more than 100 old homes, historic homes throughout the Wilmington area.
Yeah, I got the gray hair to prove it.
The thing that happens over and over and over again when you're trying to sell an old home, I owned one, I sold one, I almost OD'd on Xanax in doing so. She's about to do the same with all of her properties.
Yeah.
Is because when you get the inspection report back, show them how big it is. Look at that. That is a novel. You can use that to kill our state bird, the water bug. I mean, they're huge. When people get that back, they freak out.
Yeah, of course. I did too, my first house. Well, don't just bail the minute you see the number of pages.
If you are putting an offer on a historic home, now you should have an agent familiar and experienced with old homes.
Oh boy.
But we wanted to go through like some of the scary language that you may hear. Now the inspector has to cover their tail. That is their job. Right? So they're going to use words like structural and safety and environmental. And so we're going to go through some of those and then interpret like how you should actually be thinking about these issues so that you don't lose out on your dream home. So that you don't fall out from being in contract and so that you don't OD on Xanax. Let's start Jeopardy. Go ahead. Let's start.
Here we go.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard.
High moisture in the crawl space.
What is Who the Hell Knows for $1,000? It could be anything. Did it just rain the other day? Did they water the grass? Was that the high moisture reading throughout the whole crawl, or was it just one spot? I mean, who the hell knows?
But it's important because people automatically assume that means that the whole thing is wet and they're going to get mold, they're going to get mildew. Structural issues will happen because the wood is now going to be all decayed from the moisture. You have to be very careful to read between the lines and make sure that you understand sometimes it's not that the whole crawl space is moist or wet. It's one little spot and it's not a big deal. Maybe it just rained like she said.
You don't have enough information.
Structural.
Oh God.
Unlevel.
Oh God.
Floors. Am I allowed to sing that? Hurry up!
Okay. What is laughable for $500? Every home practically in this area is built on sand. These homes were built, two men, Jebediah and Abraham, had a hammer and put these things together. They have stood the test of time. That said, settling happens. It happens in new houses. So over 100, 110 years, how many on a stick-built home built on sand, you're going to have settling. That doesn't mean the house
caving in.
Is caving in.
I've seen home inspectors come into homes that are 110, 120 years old, and they'll put a level on the floor. I can already tell you, save your time. These houses are not perfectly level, and that's what drives people crazy. And I tell people, do not buy an older home if you don't like the dip in the dues. Now, do we need to make sure it's not still moving? Most houses have already settled the first 5 years, okay? Can it still move? Absolutely. So sometimes all you do is just give it a little support. There's a lot of houses in some of our great cities, Wilmington, Savannah, Charleston, where they're not jacking these houses up trying to make them new. They know what they're buying. So if you don't like that, don't waste your agent's time or your time looking at historic homes. Termite and powder post beetle.
Termites.
Signs.
Termites.
Throughout the crawl space.
We should panic.
I know.
We should freak out. We should go look at a different house.
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on. What is every old house, almost every old house in the Cape Fear region?
Guys, you're allowed to have signs of past termite and post-powder beetles. Like, I've never ever purchased a house or had friends that live in historic homes that have not had it. It's very common. Know what you're getting into when you go into it. But again, just because there's signs does not mean it's active, does not mean it's structural. So again, you just need to take the time, because just because you bail doesn't mean the next house you put under contract is not going to have termites or signs of post-powder beetles.
A couple $100, you put a bond on it, you have a general contractor look at it.
Yeah, make sure it's not ate up all on the walls, you know.
All on the walls.
Yeah.
If you put your hands on the table again and shake the camera, I'm going to tie you up and put you in the backyard.
A daylight from a door could mean pest intrusion, heat and air loss, settling.
What is a $15 door sweep? Done.
Woo!
Done. I still got it.
Yeah, you do still have it. It's so hard to get a door that's 110, 120 years old, totally flush, guys. So do a door sweep. You can do some weather stripping. Don't worry about it. It's all doable. A broken window.
What is a $100 new piece of glass and 15 minutes worth of work?
Yeah, it's not worth killing a deal on a house that you love. Safety fire hazard. Window will not open.
Oh, wow. That sounds like we can't live there. Very common on old homes, you can't get the window open. It's an egress issue. Egress is just a sexy word for you can't get out.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. What is a 10-minute hammer and 5-in-1 job to break the paint seal?
Yeah, most of the time it's just painted shut, guys. So you go in with a 5-in-1 and a hammer, boom, open it quickly, not a big deal.
Daily Double.
Electrical. Not good. All right, fire hazard, open splice in an attic or a crawl space.
Oh, Lord, the house is going to burn down.
Do, do, do.
What is, those wires are not in a junction box, so just put them in a junction box.
Right.
Easy.
An open ground outlet for electrical. Fire hazard. Actually could be dangerous, but easy
What
fix.
is a 15-minute job? Change out the breaker to an ARC combo GFI breaker, label it, and move on.
And label, you have to also label the faceplate to let people know that it is not grounded. Structural damage in the attic, broken rafter.
What is a $200 attic repair? Just sister it together in like 30 minutes. And we're going to pause right there and just quick say that the prices we're giving you will probably vary dramatically depending on who you got.
And where you live.
Yeah, and how whoever's working on it is feeling that day. If you don't know how to interpret these reports, and if you don't know a lot about construction, somebody can come in and say that's a $5,000 fix when they damn well know that it's a couple $100 at best.
Right.
The more you know about construction, the more your agent knows about construction in old homes, the less likely you are to be taken advantage of.
True.
Not that that ever happens. All right, your last one is structural deteriorated mortar joints.
A home inspector goes underneath. A lot of the piers, which is back in the day, were bricked up and they had mortar in between the bricks to hold them all together, right? So through time, with us being a very humid climate, just age alone, some of those joints, some of that mortar starts to come out. Again, it's not that big of a deal.
When you get the report back, it's supposed to be a conversation at that point.
Right.
And so you figure out who's going to pay for what is immediate. And then to be honest, some of this stuff is just owning an old home. It's never going to be perfect because those homes were built ages ago and our code today, there's going to be probably very little of it that's up to code. That doesn't mean it's unsafe. That doesn't mean it's not a good value. That doesn't mean that you should ask them for $100,000 off. These are all the joys of Old House Jeopardy.
Yay!